Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Golden Bachelorette Chock Chapple gives special shout out. Golden Bachelorette contestant Chock Chapple took to social media to give a special shout out to someone very close to him. Chock Chapple gives special shout out. Golden Bachelorette suitor Chock Chapple shares 2 children with his wife, a son named Tyler and a daughter named Taylor. He took to his Instagram this week to share a special shout out to his daughter. It's Tay-Tay's birthday. So proud of her. If you have a chance, say /text/email or sing happy gay to her. Dad loves ya. He added several throwback pics from when his daughter was younger. Chock's social media followers shared birthday wishes for his daughter. Some also gave Chock a shout out of their own by expressing appreciation for a glimpse at him in his younger years. Golden Bachelorette fans call out his red flags. Chock Chapple is one of the frontrunners on season 1 of the Golden Bachelorette. Several people who saw him interact with Joan, including Caitlin Bristow, predict that he will be the final rose winner. However, he's turned off a lot of viewers with his recent behavior. Viewers were especially concerned by how possessive he was of Joan during the group bowling date. Check out some of the comments about Chock's red flags posted in a Reddit thread. He appears to be a very possessive person. The arm around her during bowling, like he's claiming her. She has to sense it as well. Chock has given me the ick since the beginning. I was engaged for 9 years? I don't like him. In a big way. I can't even pick a red flag. There are too many. Chock. Oh. What a Neanderthal. Always having to show some sort of claim to Joan. Arm around her chair, etc. Now he's giving me stalker/controlling behavior vibes. Possessive. Hovering. Creep. I liked him in the beginning of the season, but he has become increasingly creepy. I disliked Chock immediately. He interrupts Joan constantly. He also talks about himself all of the time. I am not surprised he popped back up. Chock is creepy, possessive, controlling, and somehow always slightly switty. He's basically gaslighting her under a facade into a relationship. He gave me the ick when he asked her which side of the bed during the bowling group date. Chock Chapple, the charismatic silver fox of the Golden Bachelorette, is known for his playful wit and genuine heart. But this time he was making waves for something else. A heartfelt, unexpected shout-out that left fans and castmates alike buzzing. It all started in a mid-season episode. The stakes were higher than ever as the remaining suitors vied for Joan Vasso's affection. But Chock, never one to play by the rules, decided to use his screen time for something entirely different. Sitting by the fire pit, under the dreamy golden lights of the estate, he turned to the camera with a mischievous grin. No one expected the moment to be anything more than a flirtatious quip or a clever aside, the kind of thing Chock had become famous for. But what followed was something that had the nation talking. Well, Chock began, leaning back in his chair and crossing his legs with an ease that spoke of confidence and a lifetime of charm. I know we're all here to find love, or at least have a good time trying. But tonight, I've got a different kind of love story I want to tell. The room went quiet. Even Joan, who was off to the side talking to another contender, paused to listen. Chock's tone had shifted, and with it, the atmosphere in the room grew thick with anticipation. I want to give a special shout-out, he continued, his voice softening. Not to Joan, though she's a remarkable woman. This one's for someone who's been on my mind a lot during this journey. Someone who's shaped the man I am today. The camera zoomed in on his face, and for the first time, there was no glimmer of humor, no smirk to downplay his words. He was serious, and in a way that was disarming for both the cast and the viewers at home. I want to talk about my late wife, Grace. The name hung in the air, delicate and precious. Chock's eyes misted over, but he smiled through it, clearly moved by his own words. You see, Grace was my person. My best friend, my partner, my compass. We were together for over 30 years before she passed, And in every single one of those years, she made me feel like the luckiest man alive. For a man who had become the show's resident jokester, this vulnerable side of Chock was a revelation. The silence in the room was palpable as everyone leaned in, captivated by his story. I don't talk about her much here, he continued, glancing around at his fellow contestants. Not because it's painful, though it is, but because, well, it's hard to explain. I've been trying to figure out how to navigate this new chapter of my life, how to move forward, how to open my heart again, and to be honest, it scares me sometimes. But Grace, she'd want me to be here. He took a deep breath, and the emotion in his voice was undeniable. Grace was the kind of person who believed in love, in second chances, in finding joy wherever you could. She always used to say, Chock, don't let life pass you by. Love is worth the risk, even if it breaks your heart. And she was right. I didn't come here to replace her because you can't replace a love like that. But I came here because I'm ready to honor her by living the way she would have wanted me to. At this point, even Joan was visibly moved. Her eyes glistened as she listened, no doubt touched by Chock's openness. The other men, who had viewed him as a light-hearted competitor, sat quietly, their usual bravado humbled by the gravity of the moment. And that's why I'm giving her this shout-out, Chock said, his voice growing steadier, though the emotion was still thick in his throat. Not just because she was an amazing wife, but because she's still with me, guiding me through this crazy, beautiful journey. Every day, I hear her voice in my head, reminding me to be brave, to be open, to be kind. He chuckled softly, the sound bittersweet. I can almost hear her now, laughing at me for getting all emotional on national television. She hated the spotlight, but she loved love. And that's what this is really about, isn't it? All of us here, we're just trying to find that connection, that spark. And Grace, she's the reason I know it's worth it. Chock's words seemed to echo in the stillness of the night. The fire crackled beside him, casting a warm glow on his face, but it was his sincerity that truly lit up the scene. For anyone watching at home, he added, turning to the camera once more, if you've loved and lost, or if you're scared to open yourself up again, take it from me. It's okay to move forward. It doesn't mean you're forgetting. It means you're honoring what you had by being brave enough to seek joy again. He smiled, this time a genuine, full-hearted smile that was tinged with the wisdom of someone who had lived through both the highs and the lows of life. So this one's for you, Grace. I hope I'm doing you proud. The moment lingered for a few more beats before Chock stood up, stretching his arms as if shaking off the weight of his confession. The fire flickered behind him, and the camera caught Joan watching him from across the room, her expression one of admiration and perhaps a deepened connection. That night, social media erupted. Fans praised Chock's vulnerability, calling him the realest man on the show. Memes of his emotional shout-out flooded timelines, but they were paired with heartfelt messages from viewers who had experienced their own losses and resonated deeply with his words. For the rest of the season, Chock remained the same playful, charming competitor, but something had shifted. His shout-out to Grace had revealed the depth beneath the charm, a complexity that made him not just a contestant, but someone who was truly living out the spirit of the Golden Bachelorette. A man who believed in love, even after heartbreak, and who was willing to risk it all again. And in that moment, Chock Chapple became not just a contender for Joan's heart, but a fan favorite for all the right reasons.